All right, so let me paint a picture for you. I have been making additions to my long-term holdings over the past few weeks based on weekly trends. And part of that process involves using, of course, my ledger. So yesterday, I plugged in my ledger to validate some withdrawals from Binance DEX. And what do I see? What do I see but this screen? Not the one on the left, mind you, but the one on the right. All right, that booting 1%. I see this screen. I see this screen. Now, this is kind of, this is a little known inconvenience for the Ledger Nano S, but I've never heard of this with the Ledger Nano X, which is what I use nowadays. Sometimes, and this is silly because they say, when you plug your ledger in without pressing the buttons first, it can force you into the bootloader. I've never plugged my ledger in by pressing the buttons prior to this. So, you know, this doesn't happen very often. I contacted Ledger support. They're like, yeah, man, we're sorry, dude. That happens super rarely, but it does happen sometimes. Your device is reset. Hopefully you backed up your seed phrase. Of course I did. I have a crypto tag, right? If you guys want a crypto tag, make sure to go check out my video. So all I had to do was re-put my seed phrase in. I had to reinstall my apps, but cool. Everything's fine. Slight pain in the butt. But the thing is, this booting process can take anywhere from 6 to 10 hours. So let me give you guys a piece of advice if this ever happens to you. I don't know what kind of phone you guys have. I have a Google Pixel XL4. Get yourself the highest amp that won't fry your phone, the highest amp phone charger that you can, and plug your ledger into that, because the more amps that your charger has, the faster that it'll go through the bootloading process. Okay, don't get that crappy Samsung 0.5 amp output. Right, go get yourself a nice 3 amp iPhone output. Okay, now. The fix for this is simple and frustrating. Plug that baby in, let it finish its process. It takes about 10 hours, then you're good to go. Now, unfortunately, this often happens with Windows 8.1 users, which is pretty rare nowadays. I mean, come on, who uses Windows 8? But clearly, this isn't the only time that it can happen, as it happened to me, and I use Windows 10 as well as Linux Mint, among other things. So, in the altcoin cycle, guys, if you're ever feeling twitchy about selling your long-term holdings on a new yearly high, maybe just plug your ledger in a few times without pressing the buttons and hope you get a 10-hour lockout like I did. So, I'm kind of waiting for this process to work itself out last night. It only took 6 hours, by the way, for the Ledger Nano S, But I happened to go check Etherscan for one of my Ethereum accounts to confirm that some holochain that I recently got off Binance got there. And as I'm checking my balance, and what should my eyes see in my ERC-20 tokens? Well, we see 800. Let's actually go over to CoinMarketCap over here. 888,888 KICKTokens. Never heard of KICKToken? Let's do some research. So I head over to CoinMarketCap. I type in Kick. I click the token name to learn more. And what do I see? This is what I saw yesterday. So let's kind of zoom in on this. This is what I saw yesterday. That we went from a 90 million market cap to a 580 million market cap just in a couple of days. So that's an all-time high. So the Kick tokens in my wallet were worth about like $680 at the time that I first laid eyes on them. About 4 hours later, they were worth $450. But anyways, I found this website that talked about some flashy website about how some lucky Ethereum holders will get a token drop. And I'm like, yeah, okay, sure. What market does this thing trade on? So, back to CoinMarketCap. Market pairs by adjusted volume. KuCoin. Okay, I got one of those. Wait. I haven't logged into KuCoin in ages. Hold on, let me check. Pull up on my phone. Google Authenticator. Okay, good. It's still on there. All right, good. We good. Let's do this. Log into KuCoin. Double check that there seems to be some liquidity to sell into. Okay, seems good. Okay, let's fire these Kick tokens off and make an easy payday. I am taking my daughters out for ice cream sundaes tonight. Then I remember... Oh, a ledger. It's booting. I'm locked out for 8 hours. I'm a savvy investor. Let's do some more research on this. So I head back to the website and I kind of look more into this lucky airdrop. And I read, quote, that they have a complicated algorithm that picks who will receive the airdrop based on such complicated metrics that we certainly can't tell you because our competitors would love to steal our formula. But it definitely has something to do with, have you transferred tokens in the last 30 days? How many popular ERC-20 tokens do you have in your wallet? And what is your account size? Wait a second. That doesn't seem to make sense. Why would you airdrop based on other tokens? Not to mention, I'm kind of a security freak, so I split up my wallets into multiple addresses so that it's difficult, nigh on impossible, to compromise my funds in a worst case scenario in an attack. Now, I haven't done any transactions from this particular address in 4 months. Time to go to my favorite bastion of information, Reddit. Now, here's where the cookie started to crumble. It seems that they really airdropped these tokens on just about everyone. And the tokens are frozen. And the only way to unlock your tokens is to go to their website, complete their KYC process, and pay a fee of about $5. Also, not just a fee, it's actually $5 in trading commissions on their exchange, KickEX. Now, combine this airdrop day with the fact that their market cap seems to have exploded from what can only be wash trading. I got a lot of messages last night as I was writing the story up about this Kick token kind of scam, actually. Now, what's worse, other scams have popped up alleging to help you unfreeze your Kick funds for a price, of course, which, of course, they cannot, because the unfreezing has to come from a central command and control system inside the Kick ecosystem. Now, upon further investigation, I stumbled across this Medium article based on Kick token market manipulation analysis because Kick jumped to rank 33 on CoinMarketCap with a 324 million market cap after being only 21 million a month ago. On the Kick ICO subreddit, there are dozens of posts from individuals complaining about the tokens being in their wallet, but more so, confused individuals asking how to sell it or get rid of it. Unfortunately, as I said, it seems you're only able to unfreeze your airdrop tokens by, as I said, going to their website, completing their KYC registration, and then using them on their KickEX exchange. What's really concerning here is that thousands of individuals are being put in a position to tie their personal data and KYC identity to their funds, to their cryptocurrency assets, to a project that no one seems interested in, and are being coerced into injecting capital into their funding mechanism of this project. These are all the traits of a classic scam. Now, there was a Kick ICO that ran from August to September back in 2017, and it was sold to investors as a crypto ecosystem. Yeah, their white paper states, quote, that the Kick ecosystem is a complete fundraising and exchange ecosystem that raises token sales to a higher standard, driving them closer in sophistication and security to modern financial systems. So toward the end of 2017, very interesting that we get a nice ICO about more ICOs. Now, according to this Medium article, the ICO was rather unsuccessful and the token price gradually fell from 33 cents to less than 1/100,000th of a cent. The ICO holder page for this project also had maybe a scam concerning this project. Their GitHub has only 2 commits. The latest was 5 months ago. Now, this Medium article goes on to perform many of the metrics used kind of in the bombshell Bitwise the Bitwise asset management release that we received in late 2019, that 95% of volume on cryptocurrency exchanges is fake wash trading. So by analyzing distributions and deviations of price and volume, this individual does the exact same thing and comes to the conclusion that we can fairly readily determine that the unnatural market participation occurring on the Kick market, particularly is wash trading, particularly as they are centralized, although this volume is centralized, as I said, on lower liquidity platforms like KuCoin and others. Mercatox, SystemCoin, HitBTC, SystemCoin, XMO, CoinsBit. You have to realize that because the price has been bid up on these exchanges by a small amount of individuals, and that a large amount of the token has now been airdropped to people, that has caused the market cap to shoot up unnaturally. It's fake. It's not real volume. There's nothing behind it. There's no willing buyers on the other side of your sell order. Even if you had 1 million tokens, you couldn't short if you wanted to. What this whole process does is acts as free advertising for the Kick ecosystem. And they're preying on unsuspecting retail investors who will just notice a large increase in their balance on their wallet software. If you do a little digging and if you have a little market experience, you'll realize that it's actually a poison fruit. A little bit more digging on Reddit here. And the other thing to consider is this: the Kick ecosystem seems to be looking for any opportunity to cash out if we consider where they are to where they've been. Now, most ICOs that went to zero simply did not recover. And it seems that a lot of the market activity that we've seen with Kick could be considered Kick affiliates being forced to re-enter the ecosystem now to cash out their holdings from their initial investment. Thus, the wash trading on exchanges like KuCoin. However, the platform itself the project itself has an incentive potentially to gather your KYC data. Keep in mind, just typing in your public data, your phone number, your name, your address, that's not the same. Like that data, people are pretty trained to give out, even though they shouldn't. But that public information, anybody can get with a little bit of Googling. That's not the same as willingly relinquishing your KYC data and claiming ownership over asset, over not only exchange accounts, but also deposit addresses. You are basically proving ownership, because then people can start to link your personal identity to your blockchain activity. Not only that, but you're giving out your passport, your KYC data, a selfie, etc. Now that stuff is much harder to get than your name, your phone number, and your address. And that can be used not only for fraud, but in this case for identification. Now, if you agree that governments have a vested interest, or that institutions have a vested interest on building a database to tie identities to cryptocurrency wallet addresses and blockchain activity, anytime you willingly tie your personal identity to your address, you are becoming a target, not only for scammers, but for government. If you want to hold unconfiscatable funds, it behooves us to consider who benefits from this scenario. Blockchain analytic firms like Chainalysis and others work for the highest bidder, whether that be government, corporations, or otherwise. They're in a competitive field to build the most comprehensive and intrusive blockchain information system available, and that includes tying personal identities to addresses. Now, for an ecosystem desperate to cash out, how much would Chainalysis have to offer a project like this for turning over your KYC data? Apply game theory to this. You think you can give up your KYC data to get something for free, but what are you really giving up? Your privacy. And who knows how important that will be in the years ahead of us. So in summary, the Kick airdrop is a massive scam. Just forget about it. Unfortunately, until it goes back to zero, as it inevitably will, it will conflate the value of your portfolio. Again, if you're looking on something like Ledger Live, just ignore it, as the only alternative is to send all of your tokens in Ethereum to a new address and burn the old one, essentially. Furthermore, you need to be very careful about what KYC you do, as it paints a picture of your blockchain activity and your financial wealth, information that will be stored in a database by firms like Chainalysis. And just like Equifax, Capital One, the Panama Papers, etc., it will be hacked and leaked, and it will get into the hands of people that you do not want having your passport, your driver's license, a selfie of you, or a snapshot of your financial wealth and blockchain activity. Take your privacy seriously, as it might be one of the last defenses left moving forward. Let me know your guys' thoughts and opinions and comments in the section down below. If you've been affected by this, if you saw that you had Kick airdropped into your Ethereum wallet, I'm sure many of you have. You just need to go check and then come back to this article, come back to this episode. Let me know your thoughts and opinions and comments down below.